Welcome to the Dog Chug, Roger and Ed. How's it going tonight?
Fabulous. Ed, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. And, shout out once again to the Brownlee Lookouts, getting it done, winning a championship. Now, they came down to Columbus, Andy. They saw me in person, won a championship. They didn't have me. They didn't have the luxury of having me this weekend. I see Roger putting out a distress post saying, it's raining, where things are, in the championship game. So I said, Roger, just envision me being there. What happens? Brownlee Lookouts, champions once again. Pat on the back to myself, but congratulations to those kids. Well deserved. And then congratulations, Roger. Your kid is once again a champion.
Right. Thank you, Ed. You pulled through, and we carried that into Indiana, and we won another championship. 5 out of the 10 that we entered this year, we won. We won tonight 28-4 in the rain. And I'm going to tell you what, I got a story for you guys. I know tonight is Guard Chug, and if anybody holds that sacred, it's me with baseball. But we come back, we leave Indiana, I drive through the night. So I get home, I'm like, oh my God, I don't have no laundry, right? No clean laundry for work. And I had no high-vis shirts. And I'm, first of all, I look at I don't have to wear high-vis, but I do. I have homage shirts hanging there. I'm like, well, first of all, they have these girl sleeves that when you raise your arm, this goes all the way down to your vagina because they're made for ladies. Homage, get some sleeves on your shirts, man. For $40, spend the extra 2 inches of material. So anyway, I'm like, I ain't gonna wear the homage. When I come around the corner, and here on the off camera hanging is a high vis Joe Flacco Wacko for Flacco t-shirt that I called in off the couch, and he saved the day again. So I made it to work. I had high vis. It was Wacko for Flacco t-shirt. Joe Flacco's still, doing good things here. We got that. And it was a great day. It was a great day with it on. So that's good news.
Wow. So we were talking about your kids' baseball tournament. Is that right? That's what Ed
Yeah. And that's when I came home. I'm sorry, I got off track. Yeah, and that correlates with tonight's show, though. And right now, our guest, he's on the West Coast. I hope he didn't think I meant 10 p.m. West Coast time.
So we'll probably still be on at 10 p.m. West Coast time.
That's right. Fine. That's right. So, all right. He's in. All right, guys. But so because of the baseball dads, man, we got great guests tonight. Everybody knows we got D. Schnee, 10, Dad Patrick coming in tonight. Schneeman's coming in. Patrick Schneeman. I'm beyond excited for it. And we also got Chuck and Zach from Ed Around the Corner podcast. So amazing. It all is a big baseball show. I'm sorry I ruined it with the Joe Flacco story. But it was correlated. It related to the baseball thing.
Great job booking some very high-profile guests. This is unbelievable. We've never had an actual father of a pro athlete on before, so it's a very good job by you, Ed. I think the challenge is now to you. How are you going to outdo Roger here?
Hey, well, Andy, can I interrupt? Roger. I can't get a hold of Ross, and Patrick didn't get us. Can you DM him the stream, Andy, while we're doing this?
I sure can.
Beautiful. Well, he's on hold.
Well, Andy's question was, how do I outdo Roger?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have to really do that, Andy. If you heard Roger's opening, I think Roger's morphing into me because you'd talk about my incoherent rants and how I would kind of pivot and go all over the place. And Roger, I must say, you know what? You and the president have a lot in common. The only thing I will say is that you actually say words the whole time instead of just syllables. But that's some good stuff, Roger. And I don't want to outdo you. I'm actually in awe of you tonight, Roger. And yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
I'm here to celebrate, man. Ed, what the Guards went down tonight. It was a tough loss. I know that I know Chuck's distraught. But like we told him, we're going to lose 37 more games. Chuck, slow down. It's okay. It's a long season. So he's going to be with us, but he's distraught. So prepare yourself for that.
Well, also, too, I see in the comments, shout out to, I want to say this because we love our audience, all 2 of them. But at Candy Corn Guy, he has been jiving with us on X. And he had, we'll get into it later about the Joe Burrow, TJ Watt, Myles Garrett thing. I told him I put a tease out there, but I see these in the comments, so shout out to him. And also to at Quentin Polinsky. We got fans in Kingsport, Tennessee watching tonight. So shout out to Rocky Top. I don't even know if Kingsport's not near Rocky Top, but hey, it's in Tennessee. And hey, he volunteered to watch the show tonight, and we appreciate that. So shout out to our 2 fans out there tonight.
Kelly Murphy says Patrick, right? Yeah, man, beautiful. We got a lot of fans. Patrick's finding his way in. Andy, you sent the leak?
So he is not a follower of mine, so I can't.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to send it to you, and you could forward it on to him.
Okay.
So post it in our chat. Sorry about this, but the dog chug.
We'll get it together.
Yeah.
Shit. You know what?
I'm under the weather. I could go on a rant right now. Being under the weather when it's July 10th is not good because the weather's kind of hot and humid, and I have a cold. And I just want to say to all those people suffering out there that, you talk about winter, but in summer, when you get that little bit of like those 5 to 7 days of, feeling under the weather, it's the worst thing in the world. And I'll say one thing, as a guy, it's worse than when women have problems because we're babies. And feel free to admit that out to everybody tonight. So everybody pray for me. I told Andy before the show that I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't going to talk about it, but I talked about it. So we have to kill time. So.
All right. Well, why don't we go? Why don't we go into our little dog chug update bit where we like to inform the audience?
Right.
A lot of news.
I'm going to start it off. He just followed you. Resend it. I couldn't send it. Let's get into dog chug update.
Way to cut my flow, man.
I'm sorry. I'm excited. I'm pumped.
Thank you, MC Lawrence. Thank you.
I'm sipping wine tonight. I want it to be good. I want to remember it.
Oh. And he has his link. Nice. All right. We're going to go right on with the dog chug updates. We were dark last week, so we have like 2 weeks of news to cover for. So it's going to be fun. Roger, why don't you get started?
Here we go. In football news, Cleveland Browns football news, Bernie Kosar revealed in an interview with Cleveland Magazine that he is suffering from liver failure. We here at the Dog Chug are sending prayers for a speedy recovery, and we would gladly offer up our livers, but the goal is to give you more time, not less, and we're a few months away from announcing our own liver issue, so maybe check with those nerds over at Barking Browns.
Cleveland Guardians hitter Daniel Schneemann hit a home run today and had a defensive gem. You'll probably see on Bally's commercial breaks for the next 2 months. Asked what inspired him to play so well tonight, Daniel said, well, I knew I needed to deliver today as my old man is appearing on the Dog Chug, which is a lot of pressure for him to be on such a high-profile show. And I just wanted to send him on there with some confidence, so I balled out. Plus, my sister said Bo is like the best-looking player on the team, and fuck her, right?
It's been announced that Jose Ramirez is going to participate in the Home Run Derby contest this year. Asked how he came up with the decision to do so, Jose said, I just love the game of baseball and always bitch about the days off during the All-Star break, so I figured I'd just embrace it and have something baseball related to do that day. Plus, maybe if I win the damn thing, somebody outside of Cleveland will know who the fuck I am.
So true. Ed, I think
right, J-Ram, MVP.
Top 10 this week, yeah?
That's right. We do have
off-season Ed.
Off-season Ed is here. We have the top 10 things a private investigator uncovered about the Dog Chug. I believe we have slides, too.
We're having a little...
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah. And you fell asleep at the wheel.
All right. Here we go.
Okay. The top 10 things a private investigator uncovered about the Dog Chug. Number 10, Roger can hear. He just loves making Andy repeat himself 5 times.
Very true.
Number 9, guests only come on the Dog Chug because they feel sorry for us, or it's a condition to satisfy the court. Number 8, when Ross is backstage producing, he is knitting socks. Number 7, Ed doesn't believe everything that comes out of his mouth until it actually comes out of his mouth. That is
true story.
Number 6, Andy laces his drinks with pure rubbing alcohol. His motto is, if you ain't blind and out of your mind, why drink? Number 5. Roger wants to replace Andy with Cyberdog because he feels Andy isn't electric enough for the show.
Ooh, that was a good pun, Ed.
Thank you. Number 4. Crutch is the father of Ed's kids. Oh.
Yeah.
We knew that.
Number 3. The combined sports knowledge of this group is that of a teenage confused emo who hates sports. That's probably pretty accurate. Number 2. Andy's mom really loves the dog Chug. Well, only the show's Ed and Columbus hosts. Hey now.
Oh, you bastard.
And the number 1 thing a private investigator uncovered about the dog Chug is all members of the dog Chug have failed a neurological test. But unlike the stubborn old man in the White House, we ain't going anywhere. And that's tonight's Top 10.
Wow. Good job, Ed. That was awesome.
Sir.
Did you see
I'm not going anywhere.
check that out? Mike Schneeman is asking how we came up with the name Dog Chug.
I don't know. I mean, we drink and we like the Browns, so it just seemed like a natural fit. Dog Chug. I think it's that simple.
We're Ed. You're not going to jump in with your story?
Oh, about Spit Sip Chug, or I mean, what?
Yeah.
Oh well, look, it's not about me tonight. I said 2024 is about fun, and I can't always do this every show. But I did name Spit Sip Chug and the dog Chug. I didn't name that one, but it's a great name. It's a great name.
All right. Roger, did you have something you wanted? You had some screenshots.
No, I think we're going to do those with those are Patrick's. Those are Patrick's. We're doing those with him.
Awesome. We're always kind of figuring out. All right, so we've got a bunch of great guests tonight. Should we just What do we do? Bring everyone out?
Why don't we bring everybody out, man? Bring them all out.
We're doing it live.
Can we at least give Chuck I just want to hear his thoughts about tonight. It was let's see what Chuck has to say first, right?
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Where's
Chuck,
he at?
His emotions are. Oh, he's not even here.
He's not even here. Chuck left.
Well, he's on the ledge probably, so he's got to come off the ledge first.
Chuck will be back. His feelings are very raw. I think he broke his computer, so he's probably find another one.
We're gonna have to tell Daniel about Chuck and his love for the Cleveland Guardians.
All right. Well, when Chuck comes down, we'll bring him on. But we have 2 other amazing guests tonight. Roger, do you want to?
Well, Zach was just on recently. He's our go-to for when we talk baseball, him and Chuck. So Zach from At the Corner podcast, he's part of our group, But I saw Patrick Schneeman posting on X, and I don't even remember what I said to him. I was like, "How about coming on to Dog Chug?" and I don't know what we were doing, and he responded, and I sent it to the group chat, to our production chat, and I was blown away. And I was like, "No way is he going to come on this show." And I started talking to him, man, and he belongs on Dog Chug. He is one of us, man, one of us. He belongs right here. He got in trouble with his wife on social media with his daughter. He's one of us, man. Patrick Schneeman, he's drinking the Diet Dr. Pepper tonight.
All right. And I see Chuck on. We're just going to bring everyone on.
Bring everyone on and bring Chuck on.
Zach, welcome to the Dog Chug. Patrick,
What's up,
God.
Boys?
That's awesome. And Chuck, I hope you're doing okay.
I'm kind of in the shits after the ending of that game. Other than that, I'm okay.
Here's to you. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, glad.
Chuck, you need to pep up because we got D. Schneen's dad here tonight, and you need to come alive, brother.
It's an honor. It's an honor to be on. It's an honor to be on with Mr. Schneeman. That's awesome.
Let's play a game. If your son hit a major league home run tonight, raise your hand.
Come here.
There you go. Yes, sir. Get in there.
Your son hit a major league bomb tonight.
Wow,
this is awesome.
All right, well, I drink to you.
Yep.
So
Cheers
to you. How'd it feel tonight to watch him hit a home run, man?
You guys can hear us, right?
Yeah.
I can hear you good.
Okay, good. I can't tell. Oh man, it felt really good. He had a little off night last night, so tonight having that ball go out was really nice. That was a good one tonight.
It was a close one. It was awesome. It took a little while to announce that one, to call that one.
Man, he drove it.
Yeah, little
do you get more excited when he makes plays in the outfield like he did, or when he hits home runs?
Home runs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a nice throw. It was nice. He actually looked a little shaky on the catch there. You know, it was I don't know if the wind kind of was blowing around a little bit, but the throw was nice, man. Just right on the money. Yeah.
Right on the money.
Now, I know he played in Columbus. Like, I'm obviously Ed in Columbus. I'm in Columbus. He spent time with the Clippers. And, you know, I love Columbus. I love Cleveland. But have you spent any time in Columbus? And what do you think about Columbus? Because, you know, Andy and I go at it sometimes about Cleveland. I love Cleveland. But sometimes I say some things and he gets upset with me. But both great cities. But Columbus, I know we loved him as a Columbus Clipper. What a big part of the organization and everything. But glad that he got to go up I-71 north to Cleveland. But what are your thoughts about Columbus? I just for,
well,
you know.
Good question. Columbus, you know, we look at Columbus, a real special place to us because it was 2023. Daniel's season in Columbus is where he really turned the corner as a hitter. You know, I mean, 2022, he had some struggles in Akron. He got called up. He put some weight on in the offseason after 2022, put some muscle on. And he came out in 2023 and really had a great year. So my wife had to go back to Columbus recently.
Okay.
And so she was there, but the Clippers happened to be out of town. She was there on business, and the Clippers were out of town. So, but she went down to the stadium, and the people at the stadium said, "Oh, you're Daniel Schneeman's mom," and they gave her and a coworker a tour of the clubhouse and a tour of the stadium, and they kept on saying to her, "You know, he's not going to be here long. He's not going to be here long." And they were right. That was about a week or so later. He got his call up. But I went to Columbus, believe it or not, in 2005 on the day Ohio State played Michigan. It was in November of 05. It was, I can't remember where it was. All I can tell you was it was a ghost town that day. Nobody was out.
That's right.
I came back and said, I'm telling you right now, the biggest rivalry in all sports isn't Yankees Red Sox. It definitely isn't Padres Dodgers, although we hate the Dodgers.
Yeah, right.
I don't know who Cleveland's the Guardians' biggest rival is. I haven't figured that one out yet.
Right now,
biggest
twins.
rivalry, twins,
Yeah,
probably
twins.
Yeah, but right now the biggest rival in all the sports to me is Ohio State, Michigan. It's almost weird how much they hate each other. It's a little bit creepy almost, you know.
Go blue.
In
Ohio.
In Ohio State fandom, as a kid of two parents that went to Ohio State, the hatred for Michigan is sown from day one.
Hey, Zach,
we might have a problem with you guys because I have a whole family tuning in right now, a whole family of Charger fans. Okay, big time Charger fans. I mean, we are, even though they moved to LA, you know, we are huge Charger fans. Our family is, and we got Harbaugh. And I honestly, you guys may not like Harbaugh, but we are really excited.
I'm glad he's gone.
As you should be.
I'm an alum of Ohio State. Hey,
I bet.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's gone. That's great. That's great news.
I think we're going to
Jack Murphy Stadium too. By the way, go see.
Oh, you were? Yeah, I was there at the Murph. Yeah, I was. Our families. And I like what you said earlier about this feeling like home to us. I can just say, our family, the Murphys, we came from Chicago originally, a Midwest. My mom's side of the family is all from the Midwest, and they migrated out to California in the 50s, and they settled out there in the 50s. It's hard to leave California or San Diego when you arrive, but there's just something about these Cleveland people. I don't know what it is, if it's our Midwest roots or what, but it has felt like our kind of people. Ever since Daniel got up there, the way he was welcomed with his host families from Akron, you know, there's a family, Lori and Bill. What's her last name? Lori and Bill Holgram. They hosted him, and they come to all of his games. And there's been so many people that have just taken us and taken Daniel, especially, just like he's family. And I don't know what it is about the people in the Midwest, but you guys, you seem like our kind of people, just for what it's worth, really.
Hey.
Yeah, it's just because no one would ever choose to come to Cleveland. Like, so we're pretty just down to earth and whatever. But that's awesome. I appreciate everything you said.
No problem.
Chuck, there was some feedback going on, so I had you muted. But when you need to talk, I will unmute. He won't be good.
Actually, looks like Chuck may have dropped out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Takes his losses very seriously. He does.
I'll tell you, Patrick, Chuck takes every loss like it's the last game of the season, like it's the game 7 of the World Series. All 162 games. We have to talk him off the ledge like 5 times a year at least.
Well, my brother is Mike Schneeman. He's the guy that's saying we love Cleveland fan. I'm telling you right now, he was headed to the Coronado Bridge and he was getting ready to jump off. And Daniel hit the home run. Thank goodness, because I was talking him off the ledge. Real serious, man. So,
boy, Sneak comes through again, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Sir.
Yeah. All right, Zach, do you have a question for the great Patrick?
Not to steal anyone else's thunder, but I'm sure you've been asked this a bazillion times. I know it's a popular question, but where were you when you got the news that he was getting his shot at the show? That had to be absolutely phenomenal. A moment you'll never forget in your life. Describe, just talk us through it.
I was sitting exactly where I'm sitting right now. I was sitting on my computer just like this at this desk, and my phone rang, and it was Daniel. Okay, it was on a Saturday about 2:00. Okay, phone rings. It's Daniel. I pick up the phone. Hey, buddy, how you doing? It was about 5 or 6 hours before, 5 hours before the game on Saturday night. And he says, "Hey, Dad," this is how he said it to me. He said, "Hey, Dad, a guy's going to call you from the Guardians, and he's going to arrange flights for you to fly out to Cleveland tomorrow." And I'm like, "What? What?"
Let's go, dude.
A guy from Cleveland's going to call you, and you need to give him information because you need to be out here tomorrow. And it clicked with me,
Dude.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember you tweeting about that, about how I remember you tweeting about how the Guardians made a pretty big effort to make sure that you guys were out there to be able to see him debut in his major league debut.
Yeah, it was because it was kind of short notice. We think they could only get first class flights because they had to get us out there by the next day. Yeah, we were really bummed about that. Yeah, so we're flying out for the Padres series here in about a week or so, and we're not going first class again, and we're also doing the red eye. So it's going to be we're going to be a little more cramped, but yeah, they put us out first class. They put us up at the Hyatt there downtown at the mall, or what's it called? Oh, it was so nice for 5 nights. The arcade, yeah, they put us up there, and we were walking distance to and from the stadium, and it was just great. There's been so many people that were so gracious and so kind. After the third game of his third game of the or fourth game, I guess it was after the 3-game series with Kansas City. We were waiting for him out in the players lot. We got to sit out there and wait for him because they were going to fly off to Miami that night. So we standing there in the players lot. Me, my wife, our 2 kids, two of our kids that were with us, and probably more. There's a few more. It's like there's 5 of us. We're all decked out in Schneeman gear, And all of a sudden the players start coming out. All the big leaguers. Sandy Alomar, who. As San Diegans, we kind of claim Sandy and
the trade, because he started with the Padres organization.
Yeah, they were our guys first, Yep. And then so he comes right up to us and talks to us, and we talked a little about San Diego, and then it was really nice, Rocchio. I've watched Rocchio, never met him, but I watched him all through the minors, because Daniel was in the minors with all those guys, they were kind of on the fast track. They were on the fast track, but they were all his teammates and his buddies, And Rocchio comes out, and I look over, and I see him in the parking lot, and he lights up this big smile, and he goes, "Congratulations!" He was just so genuine and so happy, and so happy for Daniel. And then we all of them, they all came out there. They were so nice. It was so genuine, and it was touching. Vogt finally came up to us and talked to us, and that was honestly, I think the guy who we were kind of probably most excited to meet, believe it or not, was Tom Hamilton.
Let's go. Local legend, baby. And he ain't even local anymore.
Yeah. We like both the announcers. We like the radio guys and the TV guys, but Tom Hamilton, we're walking towards the elevator to go down to the players lot, and we got these wristbands on because we're like we're like important, you know, we get to walk around the stadium with these little wristbands. We get up to the players' suite, the players' family suite. It was really neat. So we get to the elevator. We're just about to the elevator, and all of a sudden I hear this voice behind me. You must be the Schneemans. And I turn around, and it's Tom Hamilton, and we went over, and I go, man, your call of Daniel's first hit. Well, that's something that'll be in our minds forever. And he was a big fan of Daniel since spring training, and I was just nice to hear him and meet him. He's a nice, great guy. It's just another Midwest guy that we just they're just so kind and so nice. Everyone was, but that was a big meet. Vogt could not have been cooler to meet too. He just says the right things. He's just such a calm influence, and you know, just great people, great organization. We're really blessed to be.
Love to hear that. I know, you know, as a dad, you're have like just immense confidence of your son, but did you even expect the impact he would have in such a short period of time? So many hitters struggle when they come at this level.
Yeah, good question. I will tell you this about Daniel. He was drafted in the 33rd round. Okay, he may have been drafted in the 33rd round, but in his mind, he's never been a 33rd rounder. He's never looked at himself like that. And I'll be honest with you, even in the organizations, in my opinion, the organization, I don't think they ever really looked at him as a 33rd round. We're blessed that he was with an organization that judged him based on what he did on the field, not based on whether he was a top prospect or where he was drafted. So Daniel's always had a sense of confidence. You know, he did have a breakout year in 2023. But he also did really, really well in 2019. He was drafted in 18, had a really good year in 2019. If you look at the stats over in Lake County, I believe. And then in 20 was the COVID year. And then 21, he came up, had a pretty good year in 21, got promoted to AA, did really good in AA in 21. It was shortened season with an injury, you know. So, but he had good numbers in 21. And then 22, he struggled. And he made a commitment after 22. So was I a little bit surprised? Here's what I thought. I didn't know. It wasn't a sure thing, you know. I didn't know if he would do it, but I believed he would. And I didn't know how much of that was just me being a dad, you know, your dad, you know, because I coached him through Little League, and you know, I was a Little League dad just like you guys are, you know. So it's hard. Your son should be your favorite player on the team, but you also try to be like, you try to be fair and objective. But I believed he would do it. I believed in him, but I didn't know.
I'll give you a little story. So I was covering the Clippers last year. I got press credentialed I did about 10 games last year for them. And we would be up in the press box with the field people. And we were talking to some Clippers, you know, some guys that have been with the organization for a while. And we were talking, and they kept saying, you know, of all the people, Noel, obviously he's with the team right now, Joe Kenzie. And but we always said, and everybody agreed, Schneeman was the guy. Schneeman. There was something about him. You know, he would play solid defense, but he was getting, especially 2023, like what a breakout year. But everybody, if you would poll them, it was pretty much unanimous. If we were going to say our guy moving forward, Schneeman was the guy, and he's delivering in the big leagues, and it's great to see that. Hey, we were right, and that's a good thing for you and your son and the Guardians.
Yeah, and he wasn't it wasn't like one of those top prospects. He wasn't one of those big names. But I think the organization was aware of him. You know, the people that really mattered, they were aware of him, and they knew, you know, I can't ever say Odor, the third base coach now,
Rugi.
Was his coach. Rudy.
Rugi. They call him Rugi. His first name's Rugnid.
Okay, thank you. Rugi.
Yeah.
He was Daniel's coach in 2022. And when Daniel was struggling, Rugi came up to him one time and said, Hey, don't worry. Don't stress so much. The organization's not going to get rid of one of their best gloves. He said that.
They love the glove. They love the glove.
Yeah. It was just this bit of confidence that he gave him. And all along the way, there was little bits and pieces. I got an inside story about a Guardian that you guys might. This is a guy that I wanted to tell this story because it just meant a lot to us as a family. This is about Miles Straw. Okay. Miles, you guys all know what happened with Miles this year in spring training.
I was a huge Miles Straw fan. I was a big supporter. Big supporter. I was.
So, you know, Daniel drafted in the 33rd round. You know, I'm not going to say what his signing bonus was, but it's all gone. I can tell you that. It's all gone. Okay. You know, he wasn't one of those guys that had it in the bank 3 years later. Okay. He is a young family, married in 2018, has a wife and a kid. By the way, Daniel in the offseason, He drove Uber up until like last year. He drove Uber on the offseason to make ends meet. He gave hitting lessons to little leaguers in Provo. That's what Daniel does in the offseason. His wife, for the most part, up until now, was the primary bread earner. She's an assistant coach at BYU, you know. Wow. So Daniel wasn't swimming in cash, you know. So, but he had a pretty good spring training, and we know what happened with Miles. Miles gets down to AAA, and you know he's a big leaguer, you know, big league contract, you know, down to
Gold Glover, man. He's a Gold Glover.
Oh my gosh, athlete! Watch him.
I love Miles Straw, man.
Yeah. So you like this story then? So one day I'm watching Daniel in right field, and he catches the ball and he throws it in. All of a sudden he dodges. He looks down and I see him kicking something in the ground. I'm like, what was he doing? I thought a fan threw something at him. So after the game, I'm like, after the game, he called me. I'm like, hey, what happened in right field? You were out there, you caught a ball, you threw it in, and like you started like looking around at the ground. And he goes, Miles. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, Miles. Every time I make a play, Miles throws his gum at me. He'll from center field, he'll throw the gum over at me. I'm like, really? I go, what's he like? I go, you know, I thought, is he like, I didn't know how Miles Straw would be. He's like, I go, is he like arrogant? Was he like, you know, kind of disgruntled and, you know, kind of felt like, what's he like? He goes, Dad, he's the nicest guy. You know, we do everything together. He's like, we become really, really good friends. You know, we go out to eat. We just went out to eat tonight. And I'm like, please tell me Miles pays. Please. He doesn't let me pay for anything. He's like, he pays for dinner. He's buying me a backpack. He won't let me pay. I try to pull my wallet. He won't let me pay. Miles, you know, he goes, and he also gives him tips in center field. And then about a couple weeks later, Daniel gets really hot, you know, in AAA. And he's just, I mean, had like his best week, probably arguably as a pro, with like home run in 3 consecutive games. And then Miles Straw, and probably the classiest act of he tweets out, league him about Daniel. And I just thought, man, just a classy act. In my opinion, I watched Miles down there and he's actually picked up his averages up. I think I'm optimistic. We're going to see Miles in the bigs again. That's the way I see it. He's so athletic. Oh, yeah. Player. I think he's going to be up there again.
I battled for Miles every day. These guys will tell you, man. I still am. You know what? You don't give up on a ball player, man. You know, if Miles is still working, you know, he'll get back. He's a Gold Glover.
Yeah.
His first year with the Indians, was it the Indians? We're still the Indians, right? Or we were the Guardian? But his first year with us, man, he hit the ball. The talent's there. So, you know, Patrick, man, just the stories you're telling. I'm sitting here. I have a 14-year-old upstairs that throws 80 miles an hour. He could play all 9 positions. When you put him in a position, he's the best guy on the team at third. He always struggled hitting, but he works. He works his ass off, man. As a dad, man, I mean, I remember he was like 11 and he struck out to end the game and he was having a bad season and he just bawled, man. And me and his mom were just like, he just kept working, you know, and I watch him, man. He was like in a batting cage at 12. The way he was standing, he stood like a ball player. Yeah. He stands like a ball player. You know how they just stand. And man, the kid works so damn hard. I got 3 ball play. I got a 4-year-old ready to play T-ball. I'm terrified he's going to hurt somebody. He said, Daddy, I want to break the ball in half. He hits the ball with vengeance, man. I'm afraid he's going to hurt another 5-year-old. Your stories are beautiful. I'm just going to keep listening. I'm going to sit back and
Roger, is your son
and listen.
Roger, is your son 55? Number 55?
That's Jack Chug. He's a catcher. And he plays all 9 positions. Best glove on the team. His older brother Dawson, number 16. That's D Lake 16, my bulldog. I'm going to tell you something. He was 11. He played 13U travel team or tournament team. We were losing 18-0 in the top of the first. They went through 3 pitchers. They brought my 11-year-old out of right field, and he struck out 2 of them, and he ground ball back to him. He gave up 2 unearned that were on when he came in. But he didn't flinch against these giant kids, man. He was 11. Didn't flinch. He went in there to bulldog. He wears glasses. He looked like Hershiser out there, man. Yeah. And he got 2 strikeouts and induced a ground ball right back to him. He gave up a double to score the 2 runs. 11 years old against 13-year-olds, man.
Well, that's why baseball. That's why baseball, in my opinion, and I played college basketball. I didn't play baseball. I played basketball in college, but
I was a football player.
Junior college, but it kind of counts, right? But I think baseball is the greatest game in the world because there's so much failure, man. It prepares you to deal with the adversity, the struggles. I mean, look what Chuck's going through right now. I mean, the struggles of losing tonight, but he's back. Chuck will be back. And look at, he's back.
Chuck will be back.
Already back. So
can't keep Chuck down, baby.
We got a day game tomorrow, Chuck. We got a day game tomorrow. We got.
Speaking of, hold on. We've heard a lot of questions. We've heard a lot of questions, but Chuck always has the best question.
Okay.
There he is.
Chuck.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we do have a day game tomorrow. I love those because I get to watch the game at work. It's my favorite thing to do in the world. Just there's nothing better than watching the Guardians at work. Just time goes by and you're watching.
Paid to watch baseball, baby.
You're literally paid to watch baseball. It's the best feeling in the world.
Can't beat it.
So, Mr. Sheeman, I do have 2 questions for you, sir.
Sure.
First of all, it's an honor to be on with you, and I love watching Daniel play. It's been really fun watching his rise through the system. Yeah. So I believe his call-up was against Washington, right?
Yeah.
Nationals. We're down 4-0 in his first at bat. I believe it's runners on first and second, and second and third, and Daniel Streeman's coming to the plate. You and the family, I assume, are a little anxious. You're standing up, and first pitch, boom! My God, that was awesome.
Down the line.
What was that? That down the line, it was a hit. Right, the second you made contact, you knew it was a hit. Yeah. What was that feeling? What were you feeling going into that? What was that like?
Wow, that's our view was perfect too, because we were behind the plate, but just a little bit to the third base side, so we could just see, we knew it was fair. We knew it was a double easily. We knew it was going to score 2 runs. Just a really, that feeling was similar to the feeling when he told me that he got called up. I thought, to be honest with you guys, I thought when I envisioned him getting called up, I always thought like I would be like whooping and hollering. And if you watch me on that video, I was a little bit calm when he got the double. My wife was going crazy. She lost her mind. She was sitting next to me, but I
saw it.
Yeah. I was
watching. They panned right in on you.
Yeah, exactly. I got
the telecast.
I got up a little slower. You know what my mind went to, honestly, and I think Roger, you might relate to this. Baseball is such a the youth baseball. It's you go to these travel ball tournaments, you play in these little league, you become friends with so many people, and you get to know the parents, you get to know the coaches, you get to know the all the players, and these people become like family. And my mind when Daniel called me on the phone, and I had a similar feeling when I was sitting in the stadium and he got his first double, Chuck. My mind went back and just thought of the journey. I thought of all the people, all the friends, all the teammates, and particularly the coaches, man. There's so, guys like Roger, who they don't get paid to go coach these little league teams. They're not getting anything. I think back on Daniel's coaches and these selfless guys that gave up their time, taught him not just to be a good baseball player on the field, but they mold these boys' characters, man. They really, and from the time he was 8, 9, time he was 6, 7, 8, 9, I think of his travel ball coaches, his little league coaches, his pony coaches, his coach in high school, the coaches at BYU, great coaches. The coach at BYU gives Daniel full access to the facilities. He lives in Utah, so the weather's terrible here during the winter, but he's in that facility with an indoor cage, an indoor machine, 10 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, anytime he wants, he has access. People at BYU have been great to Daniel, but then when he gets to the organization, all those coaches and the people, I think my mind just kind of went to the people that were with us on this journey, and how I felt like, the camera pointed at us in the stands, Chuck, it zoomed in on us, but in all honesty, it really should have zoomed in on his coaches that were watching on TV. Those people really had deserved the credit for getting Daniel to that point. They deserve the credit.
It's really cool that you mentioned that, because we've talked to somebody, Chuck and I have talked to somebody else that echoed that same sentiment. And Scott Bybee had absolutely nothing but fantastic praise up and down for the Guardians coaches, their personnel, the spring training staff, everybody that helped Tanner get better along the way. So to hear you echo that just reiterates that personnel wise, the Guardians are an absolutely A+ organization, no matter what.
Yeah. Honest to goodness, Unlike, I mean, Daniel's got a lot of friends in the minors with other organizations, and I'm not going to name any, but there are stories he tells me about other organizations, and it's like, and there's guys, they're not merit based. They're not always merit based. You can do well, and if you're not the big name, you'll get released. I really, Guardians organizations just judged Daniel based on what he did on the field, not where he was drafted, not what a signing bonus was. They evaluated him based on his talent, and now he's helping them, and they're getting it's time. They've been a blessing to him, and now it's time for him to reward them for sticking with him, even through some struggles. They stuck with him, and now it's payback time. The organization gets to reap the rewards of believing in their players. That's you're exactly right, Zach. That's exactly right.
Nice. Chuck, you said you had a part 2.
Yeah, sorry, Chuck.
But back to that first at bat, that was amazing. I remember it was a Sunday. I was anxious because he got called up. Me and my wife on the first at bat. Oh my gosh, here he comes! And boom, first pitch right down the line. That was incredible. Have you had any interactions like we're all huge, we're all lifelong Guardians fans, and obviously Jose Ramirez means so much to this organization. Has he told you anything about interactions with him? What's he like on and off the field? Like in terms of tips or how he prepares? His preparation for the game is unbelievable. Have you heard anything about that?
Well, this is kind of a motive. This is something Jose did make. Jose, I've asked Daniel, particularly about Jose, because it's Jose, he's kind of like, he's up there, it's like, does he say anything to you? He goes, this is in spring training when Daniel was primarily a third baseman. He did a lot of third base early on. And so Daniel's going over to third all the time. Every time he gets out and they take ground balls, Daniel's always over to third. He said one time, and I think this is good. Jose looked over and goes, "Hey, you picked the wrong position." I go, he said that. He goes, "Well, it's true." So I thought that was funny. But no, he said Jose, awesome. And then I watched. He said Jose's always slapping him 5. Always giving him 5, and one of the big things that I thought was good is Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor said one thing about Daniel and Fry. It was kind of nice. He said, it's nice that he mentions Daniel and Fry in the same sentence, because they're both similar. I don't want to say similar. That's me probably speaking too highly, but they're kind of tough outs. They're kind of got some pop. They're ones on the left.
Well disciplined.
Yeah, and they're kind of utility guys. I think Fry doesn't get credit for being a super. Fry's a catcher. He plays catcher. You got to be a freak of nature to play catcher. He plays catcher, third, first, and outfield. So Daniel gets a lot of credit for being a super utility guy, but Fry is a real super utility because you add catcher into the mix, and it's like a different level of a position. But I liked it when Naylor said something about Daniel and Fry. He said they're gamers. So having an all-star, a guy on the caliber of Naylor and Ramirez, your son, that was. I got a story about the first game, Chuck. That first game we went to. Like I said, we get these that you guys might like. You guys want to hear this story? I'm really hyped up on Diet Dr. Pepper. I've been drinking it for Jolt and Diet Dr. Pepper for the last 5 hours, so I'm going crazy. So
hold on. Let us go back to our usual ridiculousness and nonsense that makes no sense. Nobody watches. Patrick, don't tell us your incredible, awesome stories.
Here's a story you guys might like. So I didn't know this, but there's a player's family suite at Progressive Park. I don't know if you know that, but so the families, there's like a suite up in the suite section, and so the boxes up there. So we got those wristbands on. We're walking around like we own the place, and so we get to go up and enjoy the players' family suites for a little bit. So we walk in there, and it was a little awkward, although everyone was really nice, but it was mostly ladies dressed real nicely, sitting around on the couches and the sofas, some little kids, but and we kind of walked in there, we kind of stumbled in, and we kind of felt a little bit awkward. And then, everyone was nice, but no one really spoke to us. And all of a sudden, Stephen Kwan's girlfriend. Her name's Sam. She turns around and she sees us. And she just elated. She comes rushing over, gives us hugs. And this is after Daniel got his first hit, you know. It was a little bit later in the game. And she's just so excited. She proceeds to tell us how excited Steven was that Daniel got the call up. And that we're just going, really, Steven? She goes, oh, he was so excited. She goes, and then she says this, she goes, before Daniel got up, everyone was sitting around on the couches. She made everyone get up and walk to the open end of the booth so they could watch it live. She goes, no, everyone get up. Everyone get up. She made everyone get up. It's his debut, his first at bat. And she made all the players' wives and kids and everyone come to the opening of the players' suite, family suite, and watch Daniel. And unfortunately, they could sit down pretty quick because it only took one pitch. But I just thought that was nice. How it's just moments like that.
I think the broadcasters have said a couple times, like the special thing about the Guardians is they want their rookies to come up and produce, like, where you might not get that from every ball club, right? Like sometimes you're dealing with vets that don't want, the experienced youth to come up. So this might be like you mentioned a couple times, like the perfect team for him to come up through. Am I a homer for thinking that, or is there a little bit of truth there?
Yeah, my wife's got my ear. She goes, it is. I'm telling you, we would rather have him. Do you want to say something? Come here. You say something too. You come here. My wife, Mama Schnee wants to get in the.
Yes.
Cheers.
Oh, yes.
Incredible.
No, you know what? It's just, I think all the time, man, he's in the right place at the right time. We could not have handpicked a better organization. And I know Pat said it like several times, the belief that they've had in him. It's been a tremendous blessing to be with the Guardians and for him to have that experience. I mean, he talks about Vogt and the quality of the coach that he is, how positive he is. I mean, he could not have handpicked a coach that is like better for him, that motivates him, pushes him. It's just really awesome to be with the Guardians for sure in every way.
Let's drink to Vogt, boys. Let's do
Hey, here's to voter, boys. Absolutely.
Now, is Daniel a mama's boy? Would you say Daniel's a mama's boy, or is he more towards Patrick? Who would you say? He calls you up. He's got some issues. He's on the road. I don't know. He can't his laundry or something. Is he calling for advice? Is he doing anything like that? Or besides anything besides baseball, but just life questions. Who's he talking to?
I think he has a little soft spot for me. Yeah, if he wants to talk baseball, he'll usually call Pat, but he'll talk to me about other stuff.
We were on our way back. Okay. We were on our way back from a stay here. We were on our way back from a travel ball tournament in Las Vegas. Okay, so we from San Diego we would make the drive to Las Vegas. Usually it's like in November. Great. Vegas is great in November, but you don't want to be there.
Yeah, don't go to Vegas in the summertime. I've been. It's uncomfortably hot.
Brutal. Try watching kids play baseball. It's just, So we're on our way back. By the way, I think we won the tournament. Pretty sure we did. So we're on our way back, and we stop at this place called Whiskey Pete's, and there's this this roller coaster. And so we get on the roller coaster and we go on the roller coaster, and someone in the car in front of my wife and I, their cell phone fell out as we were, and I remember just looking at it, and it was like floating. It felt like, because you're doing these zips and turns, and all of a sudden it was like sitting there, and all of a sudden, boom, it hit my wife in the face,
right in the head.
Yeah, hit her in the head. A cell
going like 60 miles an hour.
It was weird because you're on a roller coaster going up and down, and all of a sudden, boom, it hits her in the head, and she was bleeding, and it was kind of scary. And I'll never forget, Daniel was probably like 10, 11 years old. He was on the same roller coaster, but he was up in front of us, and the roller coaster stopped. My wife's holding her head, and there's some people. I looked up, and I'll never forget the look on Daniel's face when he realized his mom was hurt, and he just, his whole face just. So he may not admit he's a mama. He
should be. Hey, all good boys are mama's boys. Nothing wrong with that.
The look on it, he was just he worries about her. Now me. my right arm, to be honest with you, when I sleep at night, I can't sleep on my right side because the number of buckets of balls that I've thrown to Daniel over the years, I mean, is approaching the millions. I'm telling you, man, I threw millions of balls, and I can't roll. I can't lay on this side because of this arm, and I throw hard. My fastball hits 50 sometimes.
Ooh.
You know, so
hey, that's smoke.
Hey,
Yeah,
I have
gas,
kind of-
man.
I have
Hey,
kind of a
Matt,
funny story that I can tell you about Daniel. Do you want to hear a funny story?
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
he's like it was either 4th or 5th grade, you know, and I think this is true. A lot of these like big leaguers, like baseball is like in their blood. It's not something you can teach. Like when Daniel was little, he was always bugging Pat, take me off the tee, take me to the field. He always wanted to be outside at the field playing. You know, his older brother Patrick played baseball. He was constantly wanting to be outside with his older brother. I mean, it from the time that he literally was 18 months old, he loved it. And so he came home from school one day, he was 4th or 5th grade, and he is so sweaty and hot. And he just looks like he's been through like the ringer. I mean, he was and I'm like, what is going on with you? And I kind of like, are you okay? And I put my hand on his shoulder and I go, Daniel, take your shirt off right now. And he looked at me, he's like, no. I go, Daniel, take your shirt off. And he pulls off his shirt. He had his entire baseball uniform on under his clothes at school all day, so that when he got home, literally he took his shirt and his pants off and he was ready to go to the field. And that is Daniel, like in one story. Yeah. That is Daniel.
He still does that. He still does that with the Guardians. If you look at it, he's always got his Guardians uniform on under.
You call him up before he goes to bed and like, are you wearing your uniform?
Are you sleeping with your bat?
Sleeping with that, yeah, right.
Yeah. Anyway,
phenomenal.
This is incredible. As a baseball, go ahead. No, go please.
Well, we're gonna move it along to Spit Sip Chug. Let's get some Guardians debate going. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I'm down.
Yeah.
All right.
So explain it.
Yeah. Okay. Spit Sip Chug is a little game we play where we're gonna make a statement. We're gonna go around the horn. If you strongly agree, you're gonna chug, and you can chug Diet Dr Pepper. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
If you strongly disagree, you're gonna spit, and if you're somewhere in the middle, you're gonna sip.
That way.
Right.
And Roger, because this is a phenomenal show, you are gonna have to. He always sips, so you're gonna have to chug or
you're gonna have to chug something tonight, man.
I got my vino. I got my paisan. Huh?
All right, we're gonna start.
I got the Ross paisan going.
We got 3 of these, so we're gonna start with statement number 1. So, Guardians have had a phenomenal season, but obviously the divisional play has been a little maybe shakier, considering none of the teams are performing particularly well in the division. So we should be concerned by the Guardians' difficulties they've been facing in divisional games. Roger, should we be concerned?
No.
You're spinning. Oh my God. Should we come back to you?
No, man, you're not going to let me chug. So, I'm going to, you know what, man, I'm spitting on it, man. I'm going to spit on it because I'll tell you what, since we started playing, since interleague play is pretty much gone. You know what I mean? We're playing everybody. The division games, we play less. I think we played 20, and then, we're playing a lot less divisional games. I forget the numbers. I knew them last year.
12 compared to 19 or something, I think.
It was like 19 less divisional games a year with the new schedule structure.
Yeah, right, with the restructuring. And it's no, I'm not concerned at all because in the end, we're winning the divisions. I always say in baseball, if you go 500 on the road and you win series at home, you're going to play in October. And with today's baseball and the division games, and especially the division we're in, and the number of teams we play across the year, I'm not really as concerned with division play.
All right. Okay. By the way, Candy Corn Guy just suggested you should step down. and we're gonna
for the good of the show.
You threw me off because you ran out of order.
Okay, this is whatever. The Guardians.
I'm an old man, Andy. I'm an old man. You got to go in order, or you lose me, or I doze off. One of the two is going to happen.
All right, fair enough. The season is so successful. I could care less about how they're performing in the division. All we have to do is finish on top. This season isn't really about winning. The World Series. It's about developing talent. They're on that trajectory. So the bottom line is, all the teams in our division hate us, and they do their best against us. It's fine. We're still above 500 against them. So I could care less. I'm spitting.
All right.
Ed.
I'm spitting. The only thing I didn't like what you said just now, Andy, because that is a typical old Cleveland way of thinking. Why can't this Guardians team win the World Series this year? We got such influx of talent, such as Daniel Schneemann, to get the job done and put us over the top this year. So, no, I don't think that it's about player development. It's about winning. You can player develop and win at the same time. The Guardians have a track record for doing so, and I don't want to sell the Schneemann short. I want a championship parade. You guys want to come to Cleveland in November for a parade? I think that'd be great. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, baby.
Right.
Ed wants it. I love it.
That would be amazing.
Thanks,
Zach.
All right, so I'm spitting on this, and here's why I'm spitting on this. The Minnesota Twins cannot keep their stars healthy. That organization has a track record for their star players developing repeat injuries. We've seen it in Byron Buxton. I believe we're starting to see it in Royce Lewis. And you know what? That absolutely sucks. The game is not at its best when its best players don't play, but that is the reality of the situation. Now, do I think that means that Cleveland can fall asleep at the wheel? Absolutely not. I think you've got the jive and the jam on this team that it can make a deep playoff run. You've got great talent. You've got veteran leadership in Austin Hedges and Jose Ramirez, guys that have been in the playoffs. Austin Hedges has a freaking World Series ring. Jose Ramirez, been to a World Series. You have guys that have been there that can help these young guys. And you have a manager whose brain for the game is playing 4D chess while everybody else is playing checkers. So I'm spitting on that.
Yeah. All right. The Schneemann family. Let's go.
Yeah, we're
Let's go.
One word, guys, in chemistry.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
The team is I'm telling you right now, our family we have family in Utah. We have family in San Diego. We love the Guardians. This team, if Daniel got traded, I think I might have a hard time rooting against the Guardians. I love this team. This team in chemistry is a big part of it. How many times the teams with the most talent it's baseball? The teams with the most talent don't always win it. Most of the time they don't. It's a team that comes together, gets hot at the right time, and goes on that playoff run. And so
That's
for me,
what it is.
And the other thing is, baseball's hard to win. Even people like, oh, you should sweep the White Sox. Well, maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. They're still a professional baseball team. They're a good team. Every single team in the division is not easy. It's not easy to beat them. So in my opinion, I'd like to see us do well in the division, but the bottom line is, let's get to the playoffs and go on a run, get hot at the right time, and with vote at the lead. I think he can just get us going and get them these instilling confidence. That chemistry, we're going to do it.
All right,
beautiful. As Patrick said, baseball is hard. I've been telling people
Roger,
that.
You've been saying that for years.
I wrote 1,800 words on how hard baseball was last year, and it was baseball's hard, man. And you're right, man. Like I said, 500 on the road, win series at home, get to October, and a hot team. Beware of the hot team in October.
All right, Chuck, go ahead and mute yourself, and then let's hear the right answer, because we've all given our answers. But,
Final authority.
Yeah. I'm not going to spit on my floor. My wife's going to get very angry at me. But the Royals have fallen apart a little bit. The Chicago White Sox, I watched that game last night. They had a 3-run lead in the 7th inning, and they gave up 4 runs. I'm just like, what are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? And Roger said it best. Just win series at home, 500 on the road. I think we got Tampa, Detroit. We got Tampa, the break, then Detroit. I think we're going to be okay. The deadline's going to be big. But, Andy, I agree with Ed on this. Expectations have changed. Going into the season, it was about developing talent. We're in, baby. It's championship time. And expectations have greatly changed. This season has been a wonder, like a dream.
Best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So expectations have certainly changed. It's what Mr. Sheeman said. It's about getting hot at the right time, chemistry. Yeah. We got a shot, and I can't wait. I already put in my personal day at work for the trade deadline.
Yes, sir.
And then I have my routine every year. I use I save my 2 weeks vacation in case the Guardians make a World Series every year, and if they don't make it, I use it in
What do you mean in case?
Yeah.
When they make it?
Baby,
you gotta
talk.
Sure.
You gotta talk about you're already where you're going.
Yeah, well, no. So I reserve it every year in case they make it. If we make it, and if we don't make it, then I just use it in December.
Yeah. Fair enough. We're moving out.
But we're in good shape. The deadline's going to be big, but we're in good shape.
All right. We're moving on to statement number 2. Kind of a fun one. A lineup of 9 Stephen Kwans would be more fun to watch than 9 Jose Ramirez's. And you can start with me. And listen, Jose is like the best baseball player I've ever seen.
Who wrote this, Andy? Did you write this?
This was I actually gave this to these.
You did. I didn't.
They didn't even use it.
What the hell is this?
They didn't use it, but we're going to use it tonight. Thankfully, they didn't use it. We have a great guest. So I'm going to answer like this. Listen, Jose Ramirez is like the best baseball player I've ever seen play. It's amazing. But I would love we're all about the hitting home runs, which is fine. That's cool because you hit home runs, you get a lot of money. But the way Stephen Kwan plays the game, if there were 9 of them, that would be like the most fascinating thing because I think pitchers would go to like the second inning every.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what would happen. It would be like that would be so much fun. So I'm being an idiot, and I'm just saying I would love that. I love both these men so much.
Yeah.
They both the way they approach the game is so phenomenal. But I gotta say, like if there was a team that had 9 Stephen Kwans, that would be so fun. I'm chugging. So
cheers.
I'm actually gonna sip on that. But I'm going to chug like Candy Corn Guy says. I'm chugging on if we had 9 Daniel Schneemans, because then we would have 9 Patrick and Mrs. Schneeman right there, because you guys are great. Baseball's all about family and fun, okay? And the interactions that we're having tonight, you two are great. This has been a great show. We're glad to have met you, and that's why I'm taking 9 Daniel Schneemans all day, and I'm chugging on that.
He wrote the question. You're allowed to do that.
Statement. It's a statement. And yes, I did when I hosted 2 weeks ago because Andy was on assignment. Andy did have this one, and I waited intentionally because I knew you two were coming on the show. That's how great I am, and that's how great you guys are.
All right.
Zach, I thought you were sick tonight.
I actually
all right. So
the weather, but these great
this is an interesting question. I'm glad that you guys came to me third on this one because it gave me a minute to think about it.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna sip on this just because I think both would be absolutely fantastic. A lineup of 9 Stephen Kwans, 4 of them are going to walk, 5 of them are going to get slap base hits, and then the second time through the lineup, 2 of them are going to hit home runs.
Yeah.
So, when I forget who said it, it was in a recent article by Zach Meisel. I think it was when the Rays it was when the Blue Jays came to town. Their manager, when asked about Stephen Kwan, said verbatim, "He's a pain in the ass." That's the guy you want as your leadoff hitter. I'd take that guy every time. But would I also take Jose Ramirez, a guy who hits for average and some power on the left-hand side and has more power on the right-hand side that he hits less from? Absolutely. So I'll sip on that. Both would be absolutely entertaining. Take all my money.
You can't say which one would be better.
No, because they'd both be fantastic.
Roger, he's coming from the Roger school of I can't.
Right.
All right. Team family. Let's go.
Well, okay. You want to hear the honest truth in our family chat groups? The favorite player in our family chat groups, sadly, is not Daniel Schneeman. It's Stephen Kwan.
Hey.
everyone's like his name. He's got the perfect name, Quan. Yeah, he's the Quan. I'll just say this. Jose Ramirez I never knew. I haven't watched as much Guardians baseball until this year. I watched a little of them last year and a little bit year before, but I was immersed in minor league baseball games. Okay,
right.
So I will say this about Jose Ramirez. Not true. Kelly Murphy, my cousin. My cousin's saying Daniel is his favorite player. well, okay, I appreciate that, Kelly. Yeah.
Daniel Schneeb.
That's my cousin. But I will just say this: Jose Ramirez, in my opinion, he's the best player in baseball. You look at the way he plays third base. I think he's better than Judge. I mean, my opinion. I know people say what they want to say. He is the best player. He is better than I thought he was. Daniel told me what his contract was. I'm like, are you kidding me? He goes, Dad, he's way underpaid. He's way underpaid. I think he's the best player in baseball. But I'm going to go with Steven. So what do I sip on that? Because
that's a sip.
That's a sip.
I'm going to go with Steven because we love Steven Kwan and he's a great chess player. And he's our family favorite. He probably even other than my cousin Kelly, I think he's got the nod in the Schneeman family. He's got more people being their favorite player, but I don't know. What do you think, Mom?
I love Stephen Kwan's approach to the game.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
his dedication. I love his dedication to really honing his craft of playing baseball, the way he approaches every single at bat. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Jose is amazing. But Stephen Kwan, man, he's fun to watch, super fun to watch. So I guess I'll sip too. And Daniel Schneeman is my favorite player. I'm just going to put that out.
I want a Schneeman bobblehead. When does a Daniel Schneeman bobblehead
yes,
come out?
that would be amazing.
All right, Chuck, make sure to unmute yourself.
Obviously, both Stephen Kwan, both players are incredible. I remember Stephen Kwan's year has just been remarkable. I remember when he was in the minors, he's going to be a player. Like you just told about the approach, the strike zone awareness, the hit tool. He's going to be a player, and he doesn't get enough credit for as a left fielder either. He's probably the best left fielder in baseball. So as you guys know, I don't remember last time. Like I have OCD really badly with the Guardians, and I don't think I missed a pitch in almost like 18 years, something like that. So I don't think I've missed a Jose Ramirez at bat in my entire life. And since he's played, he's just incredible to watch. And as Mr. Schneeman said, he's underpaid as well, but for my base running, he's probably the most underrated base runner in the game. Third base, switch hitter. He's just so special to have. My wife bought me a T-shirt for my birthday. I get to be married to Charlie, Chuck, so I get to watch Jose Ramirez every day. That was my birthday present. He's literally just a joy to watch. And I remember one of my favorite Jose Ramirez moments was last season versus the Red Sox. He had 3 home runs, and when he had a shot at the third, 2 of them were off Corey Kluber, by the way. And the third one was, I remember I was driving and I had the game on driving, and I had to pull over. I almost got in an accident because I didn't want to miss the at bat. and he hit his 3rd home run. It was his first time in his career. But they're both amazing players. But Jose Ramirez and not only that, he is such an amazing person off the field. Yeah. He gives so much back to the community in Cleveland and so much to Bonnie and Dominican Republic. He made it that he revised the whole Jose Ramirez field in Cleveland. He really is a special, special person.
Yeah.
How lucky are we?
And both players are amazing.
How lucky are we that we have not one but 2 generational talents on the same team?
Man, it's crazy. Yeah. So, Chuck, sorry, which way are you going? Are you
spitting, sipping, or chugging?
Sipping, because they're both.
I like it.
They're both here for a long time too.
Yes, sir.
Like contract. Everybody likes to talk about contract extension, blah blah blah. But Quan's at least here for a minimum 3 years, and another 3 years after this. And Jose is going to be a Guardian for life. So it's just we're blessed to watch him every day.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Roger.
First of all, I want to.
You have to answer this. You're not allowed to sip, so
I know. I'm going to save it to the end what I'm going to do because, first of all, my favorite baseball players, and I've always said this, is D Lake 16, Jack Chooch 55, and coming soon, King Henry the First 55, and then D Schneen 10. And then let's talk about Stephen Kwan. He's a 5-tool baseball player. Nobody has hit like this going into the first week of June since Pete Rose. Pete frickin' Rose, man. Stephen Kwan is the best hitter in baseball right now. And then you got Jose Ramirez, who's an MVP candidate every year. Jose Ramirez played left field in 2016. People forget this. Juan Uribe was our third baseman until mid-August.
That's right.
And he got hit in the cherries, and they moved Juan in. It ended his career. And they moved Jose in from left field, and he's going into the playoffs playing third base after playing left field most of the season and DH. He's an MVP candidate. You know what, man? I love Stephen Kwan, man, but Jose's an MVP candidate. I got to spit on this, but what I want to really see is a lineup of 9 Stephen Kwans versus a lineup of 9 Jose Ramirez. That's a baseball game.
That's a good one.
You know what? I would say this. I'm sorry about Steven. As a San Diego Padres fan, lifelong up until the last couple of years, he's the Tony Gwynn with power. He's a Tony Gwynn with power. I mean, he's sacred to us. We love Tony. Tony felt like family. I met him like once, or shook his hand once, but he felt when he died, it was like a member of the family died to us. And Stephen Kwan reminds me of Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn's defense too. His defense.
Yeah,
not everybody talks about his offense, but he was a Gold Glover in right field. Yeah. I mean, he was awesome.
So is Stevens.
Stephen Kwan, right? Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Chuck.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Sheeman. Roger, what gets lost in the Game 7 of the World Series? Everybody remembers the Raji Davis home run, but Jose Ramirez had a home run in Chicago, I think in Game 4.
Took the lead, with the
And before the Raji Davis home run and the Brandon Geyer double in the gap, Jose Ramirez had the infield hit to start the rally. People forget about that.
Yeah,
in his rookie season.
I think
Chuck will never forget about that. Chuck will never forget about anything about the Guardians.
The best example that I've ever seen in person of how good of a baseball player Jose Ramirez is I went to a game, I think it was in 2018, I think. It was either 2018 or 2017 versus the Astros. The Indians at the time had led for most of the game. The Astros came back in the bottom of the 8th and scored 6 runs. Stadium cleared out, but we didn't get to go to baseball games a lot because I was living in Georgia at the time. And so I was home visiting, and my dad always tries to put us up at a game. So we were at the game, and we're like, we'll stay. Why not? Jose Ramirez had an 18-pitch at-bat in the bottom of the 8th inning to spark a rally. 18 pitches. Wow. It was the singular most impressive thing I have ever seen in my life. Just absolute unrivaled resolve to foul off pitch after pitch after pitch. Wow. The message he sent to the pitcher shows just what an absolute dog he is. You will not fool me. You will throw me something I can hit. I will shit on this until you throw me something to hit. The dude knows he's the best baseball player when he walks out on the field every single day.
What did he do at the end of the? What was it? A walk?
What was the result? Yeah, what was the result of that?
Line drive double off the right field wall.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Hey, the guy left $150 million on the table to play in Cleveland. Jose Ramirez is the greatest Cleveland Indian / Guardian to ever play a game, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
He left $150 million on the table to stay here in Cleveland, and for me,
damn right.
There's nothing bigger than that.
And they don't have San Diego weather in Cleveland.
You know what? If I'm Stephen Kwan's agent, if I'm Kwan's agent right now, you're selling Mr. Hero and Chevys, and we're waiting for the $350 million, $400 million payday. It's a business, and that's just the truth of it. Whether Stephen Kwan gambles on himself or maybe this year, who knows, man? Who knows? But he's going to be worth every penny that somebody, whether it's the guard or somebody else, pays him.
I have a question for Chuck. Chuck.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Back in San Diego, where we're from in Chula Vista, there was a kid who played high school ball, graduated in 1982, great high school baseball player in Chula Vista, went to Hilltop High School, good, went to Arizona State, got drafted by the Indians, debuted, I believe, in 83 or 84, 85. I want to know if is that too far back for you? 84?
Yeah, so
Not for me. Not for Ed.
Not Roger. Roger and Ed might know.
He coached Daniel. He was one of Daniel's coaches as a kid. His name was Tommy Hinzo.
Wow.
He debuted at second base. Yeah, I think it was a brief. I think he may have got hurt or something. I didn't know if you guys had heard of him or not, because I mean that's an obscure name. It's maybe I didn't realize how obscure, but it was back in the early '80s, I think, mid '80s when he debuted. But he debuted with Cleveland. Was one of Daniel's coaches.
That's incredible.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Well, that's Roger's department. Roger goes far back than I do.
No,
that's an incredible connection.
In the 80s, I was kind of a juvenile delinquent, drinking a lot of Mad Dog. So the name, I was on a reefer, drinking a lot of Mad Dog in the 80s. So.
Real quick. My favorite Jose Ramirez moment. Zach, by the way, he had an at bat just like that was Framber Valdez last year, 14 pitch at bat, and hit the home run in Houston. But Jose Ramirez had handmates here, broke his handmate bone, missed missed a good chunk of the season, missed 2 months of the season. His first game back, I was so excited he was back. I remember me and my wife, we ordered in, we were really excited. And the first at bat, he hit a grand slam and versus Chicago on the road, and his second at bat, he hit a 3-run homer from both sides of the plate too. That's my number one Jose Ramirez moment.
Yes, sir. Nobody like him.
Well,
and
speaking of Tommy Hinzo, he only had 3 major league home runs. I think Daniel has now surpassed.
Yes, sir.
He had 3, did he? How long did he play? Was he up in the big?
He played in 1987, so I'm on his baseball reference page.
87 and 89, he was with the Tribe. See, when I was going back in the day when I lived in Cleveland and I got into baseball, then Jerry Brown, the governor Jerry Brown, was their second baseman, so he kind of replaced Hinzo then at second.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Hinzo gave Daniel hitting lessons as a 10-year-old, so he was really excited. It was kind of they both got their debut with Cleveland at second base. So it was kind of a neat moment. Yeah.
Some overarching Cleveland baseball history. That time period in Cleveland baseball history is an extremely rough time period.
Yeah, man.
The team was not good. They were still playing at the Mistake on the Lake, Old Municipal Stadium.
That was a great ballpark. I want to tell you the Schneemans about my dad would take me there, 72,000 seat stadium, Old Municipal Stadium. We were social distancing before it was popular. 5,000 people there. You start out with general admission and right field for like $5. By maybe the 5th inning, you're sitting behind home plate. It was great. Don't tell you, we lost 100 games every year, but you know what? It was great. My dad taught me a lot of life lessons.
We had great seats for it.
Yeah, I got one. I read it. I'm sorry. I read in Sports Illustrated. I used to get when I was a kid. I was probably, I don't know what year it was. Dennis, this is a great quote. You guys are probably going to steal my punchline, but Dennis Oil Can Boyd. I remember reading it. They're like, well, it got all foggy, and one of the games got fogged out. And Dennis Oil Can Boyd said, well, what do you expect when you build a stadium right next to the ocean?
Oh, yeah, he thought Lake Erie was the ocean. That's right.
Oil Can Boyd. Wow, there's a name, man.
Montreal Expo, Boston Red Sox.
Doc Gooden and Oil Can Boyd, man. Those two guys at that time.
I admit, during the day at work, like I'm like sitting, I'm just like trying to get to the day at work. I literally think like almost half my day, like what Jose Ramirez needs to do to get to the Hall of Fame. Like literally, like every single day, every single day.
Already there, man.
What's the criteria? Does it need 400 homers? Does it need this, Chipper Jones comp, this comp? We need Jose Ramirez in the Hall of Fame. Like I need him. Like we need to get him to the Hall of Fame. So literally every day almost I think about what he needs to do to get there.
All right. Well, speaking of Hall of Fame, you guys have a son that's probably going to get to the Hall of Fame, and Roger has a son who once he gets into the majors, he's going to get to the Hall of Fame too. So we thought it'd be fun to play a little game to see who is the better father to the Hall of Fame pro athlete. Now, before we start, I think it's only fair that we give you guys a chance if you want to pick a teammate, because we're going to ask some questions about other famous fathers that have sons that were pro athletes, and we're going to see how you do. So if you want, we're going to give you the chance to pick. You can pick a lifeline, like anyone to be on your team, to help you answer these questions. We're going to go 3 questions each, and we're going to determine who is the best father of the Hall of Fame player.
Okay, so I have a lifeline.
Okay.
Yeah, you can pick Ed.
It's not going to be her. It's not going to be her.
Well, the two of you both can.
Okay. Yeah.
You're a team package, but you get one
yeah.
other lifeline, like whoever you want.
I'll think of who should I call. Okay, I may not need the lifeline. I might. I'm going against Roger. I'm going against Roger.
Roger's gonna get it.
This.
He's gonna also get a helper, so you should pick a helper.
Okay. Yeah, I'll think of. Should I get him on the line now?
No. I'm saying between Ed, Zach, or Chuck, you could pick one of those 3.
I can pick one of you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, good. I thought I had to call.
Oh, he's calling up people.
We're playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
That's very late. So
I'm sorry. Okay, so who gets to pick first?
You get to pick.
I'm going with
Chuck.
Chuck.
Yes, sir.
Chuck, you are
I'd pick Chuck.
On my team.
All right.
And Roger, you get to pick. You can pick Ed
who I'm going. You know who I'm
Ed.
going with the encyclopedia of useless knowledge, Ed in Columbus.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't need you though. I'm going to take Patrick out.
Okay.
All right, Patrick. We're going to start with you.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna like set up a famous thing that happened, and then just give me like the name of the player, the team that he played for. Like, what if you get close, we're gonna give you credit for it. Okay.
Okay. Little detail. Okay.
Okay. Wait a minute. So am I in this too? Like, it's me.
Yeah, Chuck. You are part of.
He's my team. Okay.
You're part
Team Schnee.
Team
Team Schnee, Chuck.
I'm honored.
You can help get to the right answer. So
yeah,
it's very simple. All right. So question number 1: there was a player on a football team in, let's see, this is probably 2000. It's like 2019, 2020. I think 2020. Sorry, I don't have the exact year, but his father released a video on YouTube, on social media, essentially saying, my son's not getting enough balls. Can you name this player or the team he played for?
Odell Beckham, Cleveland Browns.
Jeez,
Should you give Patrick a chance there?
Give him a chance.
Oh no! I thought
You're on the team. You're the lifeline. You should give them a chance. All right.
Oh, Mr. Steven, I'm sorry, sir.
No, you're good. I wouldn't, Chuck. I wouldn't have got that.
I'm sorry, sir.
You get a point. You get a point.
I thought he chose me to. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, Chuck.
No worries.
Hey, it was going to you anyway, man.
Okay. All right. We're talking about an NBA legend. And the father, he was part of the NBA, and he had 3 sons, and he was very critical of basically he made a statement that one of his sons was going to be better than Steph Curry.
Can I answer the question, or do I have to wait?
No,
I got it.
Roger, if you need help, let me know.
It's LeBron James.
No, Roger, don't say that.
So first of all,
don't say that.
You guys could just
I got it. Ball.
Give him
LeVar Ball.
Ball.
Oh yeah. See, I forgot about him. That's how good he was.
It's 1-1 now.
Yeah.
1-1.
That was an easy one.
By the way, so the cousin said, "Please mute Chuck."
Everybody says that, Kelly.
Hey,
Murphys
aren't Mormon. Murphys aren't Mormon. They're Irish Catholic, and they're chugging one. They're going toe to toe with you guys. So they're going to.
There we go. Huh?
Hey, bring it, Murphys. Let's go. All right, we got a very famous golfer, and there was a father to the golfer that he developed him from a very young age, and he had a lot of praise, and he also had a lot of criticism.
Oh,
based on that, can you tell me who
Jim
this
Rome?
is?
Jim Rome nicknamed him Gravy Train. That would be Tiger Woods' dad.
Right.
Gravy Train. Yeah. What's his first name? Tiger Woods' dad.
Yeah. Tiger Woods. Yeah. Earl Woods is
Earl Woods. Yeah. Earl. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Oh.
Well, you're really lobbing softballs at Team Schnee.
I know. Hey, you missed Lorenzo Ball. Mellow Ball.
Yeah. Mellow Jello and whatever the
All right,
kids were.
Roger, are you ready for question number 2?
Absolutely not.
There's a dad of a very famous NFL quarterback, and back in the late 1990s, he said the team that owned the first pick, no, my son is not going to go to your team. Fuck you. I'm not going to go. He's not going to go. Can you name the quarterback or the dad or the team?
Early 90s?
Late 90s.
I'm going to say late 90s.
Late 90s. By the way, before you say anything, you might want to consult with your partner in crime.
Do you need,
man, it's I can't think of his name. Ed, is it Maravich or the other?
You're thinking about it's not Marinovich because that's USC back in 1989-90. It was Eli Manning. It was his father, Archie Manning.
Is Eli Manning, and he was supposed to Colt.
They were going to go to San Diego, but they were
San Diego. Right. It was Eli Manning. That's right.
That was in the late 90s.
Did Maravich's dad pull the same stuff though? Or?
No, Marinovich's dad was Robo, and he was the one that made his son go crazy and all that fun stuff and played for the
Trojans. I knew there was something going on with that.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't Eli Manning drafted?
My final answer. Ed, final answer.
Final answer, Archie Manning.
That is correct.
It is, okay.
Well done.
That seems very
they got a grandson.
That seems very un-Archie-like, doesn't it?
I know. Because he went to play for the Saints for all those years, and
I know. He's and you watch the Book of Manning. I watched the Book of Manning. He's such a gracious guy. It's shocking that he would say that about going to San Diego.
And then San Diego got Phillip Rivers because of it.
No, we got Ryan Leaf.
Ryan
Leaf because of it.
They got Phillip Rivers instead of New Orleans quarterback.
Oh, you're right. We got no, I'm right. We got Ryan Leaf as in the number 2 pick.
Right, because 98, because Eli Manning, because Peyton Manning went 1 to the Colts.
That's right. Yes. You're right. Gosh, you are the encyclopedia. And then we would have got his brother, but he said
right.
Hey, you're right.
All right. We're gonna move on to question number 3. Okay, so there was a very famous hockey player, and his father got to be part of the ownership group for the Phoenix Coyotes during his son's time with that team. Can you name that player, the team, whatever? I already named the team, so that's not going to work.
Chuck,
I know
this is a Midwest question. We're not hockey people down in San Diego, but
can I steal?
I don't know shit about hockey.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
All right, well, hold on. If I had to say who is one of those famous hockey players of all time,
Wayne Gretzky.
It's Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, it is?
That is correct.
It's Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
Don't these softballs, Andy, at people.
Mario Lemieux.
Nice. Jaromir Jagr.
Right.
Okay, Ed and Roger, you got to get this last one right.
I'm ready. You got a softball for me.
Hold on. I'm trying to. I want to make it a hard one so that you lose.
I know. Don't worry about it. I'm sure I will.
Okay. There was a Major League Baseball Hall of Fame player that was watching one of his son's game, and in 2007 he was ejected from his son's game for arguing balls and strikes. Can you name
wow
a Hall of Fame player?
Wow. What year?
2007.
Is a youth? A youth?
No, this is Major League
Ken
Baseball.
Griffey Sr. Ken Griffey Sr.
No.
Ed, do you want to?
No, I want a clue as like the greatest hockey player ever. So Chuck says Wayne Gretzky. That was a pretty.
Right. He's my 11th favorite baseball player of all time.
Okay, fair okay, so father son combination. We got the Lou's, got Moises Alou and all them. We got obviously the Griffies. I don't think it's the Griffies. The Ripkins. I don't think it's them. The Boons maybe. I don't know. Pick one, Roger. Go Boons, go Alous, go whoever you want. I don't want to be responsible for us losing here.
I already said I'm going with Ken Griffey Sr.
That's a good guess.
Is that your final answer?
It's gonna be wrong, but go ahead.
Final answer.
Oh, you were so close. It was the Boone family.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
And Roger, you blew it. You lose.
That's all right. That's all right, Roger. We did the right thing. Schneemans, we did the right thing by you guys.
Family. Next time you come to Cleveland, you get to ride in the Cybertruck. Roger.
You know what?
We're going to be there in about a week. We're going to be there in a little over a week. You know, we're going to be there. Yeah.
I'll leave the keys under the mat.
We'll play. We're going to play again when you come back on in the off season and bring Daniel with you.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good, guys.
That?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Does anyone else have any other questions? Anything they want to get off their mind? We're going a little late. Chuck, you have thoughts.
Of course you do. That big baseball brain is always churning, man. I know you got something in there.
Go get Daniel's balls right there. The baseball.
We'll come back to you.
Yeah, we want to see balls here. Yes.
Yeah.
You said balls, and Ed got really
balls.
excited.
Any guy that says balls, you got to see them here.
Chuck. So these are official balls from Daniel's debut game right here.
It's so cool.
Let's go,
I'm
dude.
gonna have Daniel sign one of these, Chuck, and we're gonna get one to you, buddy.
Oh my!
Let's go,
no,
dude.
That's
Awesome.
amazing.
Thank you.
You're
You
the
don't have to
greatest.
do that.
You're the greatest.
He is the most deserving of that by far.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, you don't have to. No, you don't have to do
No,
that.
do it.
It's your family.
He'll probably throw it through his TV the next time they lose.
Well, maybe it won't be one of these, but we'll get you a side ball from when we're back.
Yeah. Don't tell me one of those. Those are very
they're
emotional, and those are awesome.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Chuck just said his Indiana Jones. Those belong in a museum moment.
Andy's right though. I almost broke my TV today until my wife went crazy on me. But
yeah, I know it was a tough one. It was a tough one. Daniel brought these out and he gave them to me right after the game, and
that's
I'm like,
so cool.
Oh, this was his first hit. I thought it was the first hit, and I was super excited. And we gave it to his little brother. We gave the bag to his little brother, and then later on, I'm like, yeah, which one was the one where you got your first hit? He goes, my first hit? Nah, I wouldn't give you guys that one.
Hanging on to that one.
These are just from the game. He would not trust us with his first hit ball.
That's exactly what our son Dawson. There's no way we're getting that baseball. There's no way. No way.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, good. You guys, thanks for having us, man. We've really,
man.
like I said, Cleveland people are our kind of people. It feels like family to us. So this has been really, really a lot of fun to be on your podcast and to be a part of and to become just big time Cleveland Guardians fans with you guys. Yeah. Thanks a lot. And our family loves you guys. And my brother, our cousins, we're all huge Guardians fans and good big time.
Columbus loves you guys. Columbus loves Daniel. And we'll never forget him. Columbus Clippers, ring your bell.
All right.
It was a lot of fun and an honor to be on with you, Mr. and Mrs. Steeman.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank y'all for your candor and the stories you guys have shared. Like that type of insight, especially for just regular Joe Schmo fans like us, is absolutely invaluable. It's good to be reminded that players are human and that their families are human too, and that they're every bit just as special as the rest of the guys that take the field. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks a lot, you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Patrick. I reached out to you. I do it on X. I run the guests here, and you responded. I want to thank you so much, Mrs. Schneeman. I want to thank you, baseball mom, who washes white pants and white jerseys all her life and scrubs them. I know I have a baseball mom upstairs. She brings snacks. She makes team banners. You work your ass off. I want to thank you both. I want to thank you both for coming on. You you made my show. This is it, man. This is, I've gotten a lot of guests in 4 years, and this by far is my best guest and my best show that I've
Hey, we're going to be viewers from here on out, though.
Hey,
hey,
and if Daniel wants to give batting practice, I pay $40 a half hour at Pinnacle. You send me a DM and I'll bring him over, and we'll get Daniel giving my boy some batting lessons. How about that?
Send him out to Utah, to Provo. I'll give him
we're
some teamwork.
We're on a plane, man. We're on a plane.
All right, you guys. Thanks a lot, you guys. Hey, go. It's a day game tomorrow, right?
Yes.
It's a day game.
Sir.
Yeah,
Day
1 o'clock.
Morning game for you guys.
All right, guys. Great. Thanks a lot, you guys. We'll be in touch, okay?
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much.
We'll see you.
Peace,
Thanks,
y'all.
guys.
Go Guards.
Thank you.
Go Guards.
Thanks, guys.
Schnee 10.
We got him.
They're trying to click. There they go.